Changing Lanes, the official podcast of BMW.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Changing Lanes, the official podcast of BMW. My name is Sarah.
And my name is Jonathan.
And today on the podcast, it's all about our four-legged friends. Yep, that's right. Traveling with a dog in your car can be loads of fun, but sometimes getting your dog acclimated to their new environment can be a bit tricky.
Yes, most definitely. As you may or may not know, I have a French bulldog named Dexter, and I remember picking him up from the rescue shelter as a tiny little pup. Oh, he slept the whole ride in the cradle of my arm. It was so great. But he grew up really fast, and I needed to figure out how to make it an enjoyable ride for him and for me as well. And Dexter would whine and yap, and one time he got sick in the back of the car.
Ew. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, poor Dexter. Poor Jonathan.
Yeah, right?
I don't have a dog, but, I have to say it does sound a lot like driving with children. I've experienced similar things. Oh,
Exactly.
Gosh.
Exactly. So driving with children and also driving with dogs, here's one way to make sure that there's no sick in the car at the end. We've got 7 golden rules, and we can't wait to share with you our tips and tricks on driving with dogs.
Okay, let's start off with number 1, which is start slow. Getting your dog used to the car is a great way to begin. And you can do this by lifting your dog into the car with the engine off. And once your dog is in the car, give your pet a treat and tell him he's doing a good job. And if you do this a few days in a row, you'll help your dog build up some positive association with the car.
Exactly. A puppy or a full-grown dog, they have to get acclimated to their surroundings. And that idea with the engine off is a really smart one.
Yeah, so they're not as nervous or spooked by the sound.
Oh, exactly right. So figure out where you'd like your dog to sit and lie down in the car, and put down a cushion of their favorite blanket or their favorite toy and say, "This is your spot." A car crate is also a good idea, and it's a safe place for pets to call their own. And, dogs, they need to know where their spot is and where your spot is in the car. And if you can, try and make eye contact with your dog once in a while when driving so your pet feels safe.
Yeah, Jonathan. And speaking of safety, tip number 3 is all about securing your dog in the car. For the sake of your four-legged friends, you should always make sure that they are safe and secure according to all local travel laws. This way, you'll avoid an unnecessary risk, not to mention expensive fines. And, of course, when you're traveling outside of your own country, you should definitely read up on the local regulations. Apparently, it is up to you whether you use a special belt or a dog crate or some sort of barrier between the passenger area and the back of the car. But the most important thing is somehow that your pet is secure.
Exactly. And, rules, they're meant to be followed. So that's a good tip.
Yeah.
All right. Tip number 4 is to find locations to take breaks. Long car trips are a strain for our canine companions.
Yeah, not only for the canines, also for all of us, for sure.
Exactly. So short breaks along the way will give your dog a chance to run around and play and do their business. So before you leave, search online for good forest trails and dog-friendly rest stops where your dog can get out and play. Oh, and also remember to give your pet plenty of water at every break.
Yeah, this sounds like good advice for humans as well, not just for dogs.
Exactly.
Hydration, breaks, stretch your legs, have a chance to walk around a little bit. Definitely good advice for everybody.
Okay, moving on to tip number 5, and this is one I'm honestly still trying to get the hang of. So my dog Dexter, he gets so excited when exiting the car.
Okay.
He wants to see where we stopped, and he just wants to run around and play, and he just gets so pumped, and he's just ready to just jump out of the car, which isn't good. So the best way to make this transition from parked car to fun dog walk is to get out first and then let the dog out second. So go around the door closest to your dog, give a clear command that your dog is about to exit the car, and make sure that you have your dog leash in your hand so you can smoothly get your pet from the car onto the ground without them running off. Safety first.
Yeah, safety first. That sounds like a very good tip.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, has Dexter gotten the hang of this already?
Sort of.
Okay.
After
Oh
9
dear.
years, we're still kind of working on it.
All right. Hope you keep working on it.
Thanks.
Okay. Tip number 6 is to give your dog food, but in moderation. So, heavy snacking before a car ride is a big no-no for dogs. You can give your dog a few small treats along the way to make the trip a bit sweeter, but, a dog with a full stomach, that could mean your pet getting sick in the car, and that is definitely something we don't want.
No, not at all. Not cool at all. So that's a great tip. Moving on to tip number 7, it's a no-brainer. Stay cool. Whether you want to grab an ice cream or buy a new lounge chair, never keep your dog waiting in the car when you're out and about in that summer heat. Just a few minutes, it just breaks my heart, right? I mean, just a few minutes in a hot car, it can be really dangerous for a dog. And, the old trick of just open a window and crack it, that's not a trick. That's just dumb. It's not enough to keep your pet comfortable and safe with that window cracked. So, as a rule of thumb, always take your dog with you when it's hot outside.
For sure. Yeah. And again, safety first.
Exactly.
You don't want to endanger a pet that you love.
Most definitely.
All right, everyone. Those are our 7 tips when traveling with dogs.
I hope you enjoyed. And thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Changing Lanes.
And if you liked this episode, do make sure you subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss any future episodes.
And to dive deeper into all things BMW, head on over to bmw.com to learn more.
My name's Sarah.
And I'm Jonathan.
And this has been Changing Lanes.
See you next time.
Bye.